This is TomSnakeTV.com.
Are you ready?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? The truth? You can't handle the truth.
You ready?
You can't.
Welcome. For those who don't know, this is Elder Mmoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth. This program is dedicated to stripping the clothes off of well-dressed lies, and there are a bunch of well-dressed lies running around. And if you're looking for a well-dressed lie that is dressed up to be the truth, I recommend that you go listen to somebody else, because you are listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business. If you want a well-dressed lie, go listen to Rush Limbaugh's or his cousin, little brother, Sean Handkerchief Head. Go listen to them, because they are experts at dressing up them lies and pawning them off as the truth. But you won't get any of that here, because I am unbought, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the naked truth. I think probably what I'm gonna have to start doing is, in my resume, I'm gonna have to start putting a film critic in there, because I've looked at that movie Us, and I recommend that you go see Us, because it is talking about us. And when I say us, I'm talking about people of African descent and how using exists right here in this United States of America. To research this show, to look at what I had saw and what other people were talking about it, I went and pulled up a couple of critics and their assessments of the movie Us. I looked at David Edelstein, who's the chief film critic for New York Magazine and CBS Sunday Morning. He lives in Brooklyn with his wife and 2 children, and graduated from Harvard. He is one of the stupidest men that I done saw in my life concerning his assessment of Us. He looked at it and he said Peele's opening is up there with the nightmare classics. After titles that assert that there are thousands of miles of tunnels under the U.S., many of which have no known purpose at all. Then we're in a beachside Santa Cruz amusement park in 1986, where a little girl wanders away while her father is distracted by a game of whack-a-mole. And then he says, what's a better metaphor for macho futility? This dude, that had nothing to do with the movie. I don't know what movie he was looking at, but when I saw the movie and the brother was doing the whack-a-mole, what he was doing is he was out with his family trying to win prizes for his little girl who he loved, and his mother who was endeared to him too. It wasn't about him being macho. It was about him being a father. It was about him being a husband. And that's what you get from them cats from Yale, Harvard. They think they know anything and they don't know nothing. But in order to understand Us, you got to be a black man or a black woman or a person of African descent that grew up in America. And when you look at the first part and put it in context, and they talk about the underground tunnels that are in America and the people that came out of those tunnels, then you're looking at them Europeans coming out of those caves. You're looking at them cavemen. And they still acting like cave people. And Jordan Peele is a genius on how he comes up and puts that fact into the context of that movie. This cat Peel, now listen, he says David Edelstein. Sounds like a Jewish name. I bet he is. Don't that sound Jewish? Oh, Edelstein. Edelstein, that's a Jew boy. And they done went through, they say, the Holocaust, and he got the nerve to be as callous as he says. He says Peel's writing is blah and perfunctory, especially when Adelaide, who is the mother, who is the little girl that went to a carnival and found herself. In fact, let me go back here. Gothic conventions compels the girl, Adelaide, to enter a fun house on the beach with a sign reading Vision Quest. Find yourself. In the Hall of Mirrors, she nervously whistles Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then hears someone whistling it back. What appears to her mirror image is actually, well, that's the question. That's the question for him. Because if he looked at Edelstein name, meaning Jewish, Ashkenazi, ornamental, name from German Edelstein gem, precious stone. Well, ain't nothing precious about it. You know, he's a piece of rock. And the rock don't fall too good. Yeah, I don't like him. And I don't like him because he's got the nerve to talk about a art piece of Jordan Peele that I'm telling you that is top shelf. And you've got to be able to see it as a person of African descent that has been living here in America in a historic perspective. And Edelstein is talking about the movie, and in the movie, what you find out. In fact, let me just leave him alone because he is getting in the way of my thought process. The little girl is with her parents, and she wanders off, and she goes into this house, and this house says, "Come in here and find yourself." And as she goes in there to find herself, she goes in there and she's in a bunch of mirrors, and she looks into the mirror, and as she's looking into the mirror, there is a person that looks just like her, but her back is to her. She's not facing her like it would be in a mirror. And when the girl faces her, you find out the girl takes her place. When the girl takes her place, she comes out of the place, gets with the parents, and she's not the person who went into the place. In essence, Jordan is saying that she found herself. And she found herself, which was different than the person that went in there. Fast forward, she grows up. She marries a man, Gabe. They have 2 children, a girl and a boy. They go back to this place with her reluctance, and then they go to their home. And when they go to the home, the little boy comes, the son says, "There's a family that's standing out in our driveway." When the father goes out there, he finds out that there are people that just look like him, his wife, and his 2 children, and they break into the house. And when they break into the house, they start terrorizing their doubles in the house. This woman calls them doppelgangers. And a doppelganger is a duplicate of a living person. New word for me. But these doppelgangers come into their house and they start terrorizing. They got scissors. and they coming in there to do death and destruction. And the people that are living into the house, they asked the woman, "Why are you here? Who are you?" And the woman says, "We are Americans." Bam! If you don't get that part of the movie, then you miss everything else. Because these Americans have come to destroy these people who have found themselves. This little girl left her American image in the funhouse. And then when it comes out, the American, which is what America does around the world, is death and destruction. Ajabu, did you say that? Yeah. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I know what America does in war. I know how they went to Vietnam and killed up them people trying to control the price of rice and to get their oil off the Indian Ocean. I know how all that went. I see right now how they're treating those people who are trying to get in the country down there on the Mexican border, put them in cages, separated the parents from the children. America needs to find itself. That's nothing humane. That's nothing to put to the world to say that you want to emulate. And no, I'm not going to buy into that just because I have a certain quality of life here in America, and I have a decent quality of life. But that don't mean that I'm going to become blind to what's going on. I'm not going to turn my back on my God, who is a just God, so that I can be a good American. I might be able to have a good life in this life, but what good is a good life in this life if you eradicate your afterlife? I'm telling you, I'm unbought, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. And what's got me out of this movie is every one of the doubles was killed by its own double. The original was killed its double, which was the American. So when I saw this movie, what I saw Peel saying, that in order for you to be sane, you got to kill the American in you. Woo! Now, David, he couldn't see that. He don't even get into that. And then he tries to say that the two white people, or two daughters, that they went over through there to try to save or get saved, were more cerebral. How did he get that? And he's got the nerve to say, but we don't get to know them before the so-called arrival. Well, you don't know them at all. Because as soon as they get there, actually the double people get there and they kill them. So you don't get to know them. So he is showing a bias that he got from Harvard, you know, that shows that he's just a nut. Yeah, I said it, and I mean it. I'm about sick of these people pawning themselves off as being better than somebody else, especially people of African descent. And they're nuts. They're sick. They don't have good sense. And it's mandatory, really, for people of African descent to get our stuff together so that humanity starts reigning supreme here in America. Right now, the devil is off the chain. And I'm about sick of it. And Jordan Peele is making a point. See, when I look at Get Out, I see this as a sequel to Get Out. What was the message in Get Out? Black men don't mess with white women. That was the goal. That was the message there. If you messing with a white woman, the two words that you need to get in your head is get out. Leave it alone. And now the message, he took and expanded that, And he said, okay, now I done told you, black man, now I'm going to deal with you, black woman and black man. I'm going to deal with us, black man and black woman, and I'm going to tell you not only get out of a relationship with white women, black men, but I'm going to tell black people to get out of America. That was the solution in us. And first of all, you had to kill the American in you. The father killed his double. The mother killed her double at the end. The little girl, actually, this is how it went. The father killed his double. The little girl killed her double. The son killed his double. And then mama had to take out her double. All of them was the American in them that they had to kill and get out of America. Now, Peel, at the end, he shows that the person that went into the funhouse is not the person that came out. And so when you see her kill the person that went in, you say, ah, wow, that was a twist. But if you understand that the person that went in was the American that found herself and found out that she was not an American, and so in order for the storyline to be consistent, for the father to kill the American in him, for the daughter to kill the American in her, for the son to kill the American in him, mama had to kill the American in her, which was the girl that went into the place. That was the twist. And the mama was telling the father, who said, we can get out of this. He always was trying to offer some kind of, well, I can go to the bank and y'all can have whatever you want. They didn't want no money. They wanted your psychology. They wanted your psyche. They wanted your behavior. They wanted you to be an American. And the sister went into the place and she found out that she wasn't an American. She found out that she was something other than American. In my opinion, she found out that she was an African and she had gotten away from herself. And they understood that they had to get out of America because America is going to implode. In that, and I got to put the biblical part in that, and I should have looked that up. Look up Jeremiah 11:11. In Jeremiah 11:11, it reigns prominent in there, because when the little girl is walking off from her father and she goes into the fun house and she finds herself, there's a white dude who is holding a sign and it says Jeremiah 11:11. If I can't get it specifically, did you find it?
Yeah, he brought up. Read that.
Yeah.
Look what he brought up.
Okay, in Jeremiah, in Jordan Peele's Us, Jeremiah 11:11, quietly explained the film's central theme, a breakdown of theories.
Find that passage.
Okay, I need that passage. But when you look at that passage, what you find out, here we go. Let me read to you what Jeremiah 11:11 says. And Jeremiah was a prophet. He was rebelling against Babylon, the leaders of Babylon. He was under a death threat because he was telling the truth about the corruption that was existing at that time. And God came to him and said, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Jordan Peele is telling you that God is saying that he is going to destroy America. And even though America cries out for mercy, he's not going to see any. And Jordan Peele is saying that if you are going to walk the path of God, then what you got to do is you got to kill the American in you. And in that movie, each one of the characters kills the American in them, and they say that they got to get out. And brother, he says, why we need to leave? We got everything that we need here. We got food. We got shelter. We got a better house, because he's saying that when he's over at the white folks' house, who's living better than them. And the sister says, well, look, yeah, why would we stay here? Don't you understand death and destruction is coming? Look, these white folks stay here. They laying around dead, bleeding to death. And she told him, which is interesting, she told him that you no longer can say what's going on up in here, because you sound like you a nut. You sound like you went to Harvard. You sound like that you was a classmate of David Edelstein. You got to go. And she said, we got to get out of here. Now, they were talking about going to Mexico. But they knew how that they had to get out of America. It is a brilliant film. It's a brilliant message. And it goes back to the Bible to tell you that God is getting ready to do a tragic thing up in here. And if you up in here with it, identifying with it, then you're going to go down with the ship. Are y'all hearing me? I said that this movie is a sequel of Get Out. If you in a relationship with them white folks, get out. If you trying to stay here in America and buy into the policy of America, you better get out. And not only is the male needing to get out of it, the family needs to get, the family left. They jumped into an emergency vehicle, which was smart, because they knew that they was going to have to fight. And all of them killed their double. I am concerned, really, as a man that has fought for this country, who has earned the second highest medal that this country gives to people that fight in theater. I'm concerned that America has lost its moral authority to exist. Whew. Jeremiah 11:11 says that they have strayed so far from what God would have us to do that he's through with it. Even if they cry out, even if they say, I'm sorry, even if they say, I didn't mean it, he's saying it's not going to be enough. He will show them no mercy. And that's going to be the same with you. And I didn't bring all of my research, but I want to tie this to the prisons that exist in Alabama. The Justice Department did a study on the prisons in Alabama. And they well, this is an article that was ran in the New York Times. It says, Alabama's gruesome prisons report finds rape and murder at all hours. I read the report. In the report, they said that it's nothing for two people to be murdered in a week in Alabama's prisons. They said the one guard watched an inmate bleed out, die, because he didn't have the key to get into the place where the inmate was. The inmates had the keys. The inmates had more control over the prison than the guards. In this prison, it's supposed to hold 500 people. They got over 1,500 people in the prison. The toilets don't work. People are stabbed in the head, and the guard said, well, he committed suicide. He stabbed in the chest and stabbed in the head, and the guard said he committed suicide. Now, make me believe that. This is the reason why God is going to come back and hold chastisement. Because you're talking about the Justice Department. The one that Barr, who is telling you that you can't see Mueller's report on what happened with Donald Trump and the Russians. That guy, his office, his department, did a study and found all of this in the prison. In fact, one of the guards told the inmate when he came in, he said, now when you get in there, make sure you get a shank. Because if you don't get a shank, you're not going to be able to survive. The Justice Department person that was there, he said, while he was there, see, that's old Barr calling now. He mad because I'm telling on him. I'm going to tell on him. What is it? No, man, I don't want to talk to you. What? No, you need to get your butt to Alabama. That's what you need to do. There's people in Alabama that's dying. Why are you calling me? You know that I'm trying to wake the people up. And now you don't want me to wake the people up. I done told you I'm unbought. What? No, I don't want no deal. I'm unbought, man. You can't buy me. I'm unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Now, go talk to, what are you, handkerchief head? What? Go talk to Russ. Go talk to one of them. I'm the most truthful talk show host in America. Look, see, he done called me. Y'all know what I'm going to do? I don't want to talk to him. Have him go talk to somebody else. Because you got to know the truth. His people was in the prison. And they said there was a guy in there getting raped. And they couldn't help but hear the cries. He was talking about, help me, help me. Why the Justice Department was there? The guard wrote up the report. Well, it was consensual sex. Come on, man. Why do you treat humans like that? It reminds me of when I was down there at the Man County Jail and they treated me. Feces in water, urine in water, roaches running up the wall, butt naked. See, you got to close in kind of places. If you are any kind of human, you don't talk about, well, we're going to study that or we're going to file a lawsuit. No, you close them places, and you rethink your idea, your concept of justice. I'm just sick of it. And so Jordan is trying to tell us that we got to get out of America. And it's God ordained. Go read Jeremiah 11:11. God is going to rain a tragedy on this country, and if you hear, you're going to get caught up. That's the message. That's what David Edelstein don't want you to know. That's the reason why he says that he don't know where he's going. Yeah, you know where he's going. You just don't want people to know where he's going. And I'm telling you, he got there. We are going to view us on the, what would it be? I'll put it on Facebook. but we're going to view it and we're going to discuss it. And we need to understand what it is saying. Because those of you who are God-fearing and understand that it's more important to have your life right with God than it is to have your life right with America, you need to come to the discussion. You've been listening to Elder Mmoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth, the most truthful talk show host in the business. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. Totally unleashed. I just have one question. You ready?
We out.
This is TomSnakeTV.com.
Are you ready? You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You ready?
Hey, hey.